All right, adventurers, welcome back to the Dangers and Dragons podcast.
Yep.
This week we're going to trade in the fire-breathing beasts and enchanted swords for something a little different, a little more down to earth, but trust me, just as gripping.
Yeah, this one hits close to home in a way. It's a story called The Devil's Debt, and it's all about the choices we make, the lies we tell ourselves, and the shadows we cast.
Yeah, no kidding. And the main character of this story, well, he's a master of disguise, a chameleon blending into any situation and his weapon of choice, deception.
A con man through and through right from the start. You see him operating under this alias, Reverend Thomas, preying on people at their most vulnerable when grief is still raw.
It's cold-hearted, forging letters, spinning these elaborate tales, all to exploit people's pain and hope. It's like he's stealing something far more precious than money.
Exactly. He's feeding off that desperate need for connection, that yearning for something to hold on to in the face of loss, and he twists it to his advantage.
And you start to wonder how someone becomes so detached, so callous to another person's suffering. What kind of experiences could lead to that level of cynicism?
It's a fascinating question, isn't it? Because to pull off these cons, you need a certain level of emotional detachment. You have to suppress empathy almost completely.
Right. It's like other people's pain is just an opportunity for profit, and then the story takes this really interesting turn. He meets a woman named Ellen in a pawn shop, and she's clearly at her breaking point.
This is where the story really gets to you. She's pawning her wedding ring, the last tangible link to a happier time, a symbol of love and commitment, and you realize the weight of that loss.
And our protagonist, he sees it too. For the first time, he seems to actually register the human cost of his actions.
That wedding ring becomes this powerful symbol, doesn't it? It represents everything. His cons are designed to undermine trust, genuine connection, enduring love.
And it's like a crack appears in his carefully constructed facade.
Right, and you have to wonder what's going through his mind at that moment. Does he see a reflection of himself in Ellen's despair? Does he question the path he's chosen?
Well, whatever it is, it sparks a change because instead of moving on to the next mark, a new idea takes root. What if he could use his skills for something other than personal gain? What if you could turn the con man's playbook on its head?
It's a fascinating twist, right? The idea that deception could be used for a twisted kind of justice. It makes you think about the gray areas of morality.
Can the ends ever justify the means, especially when those means involve lying and manipulation?
That's the question the story grapples with, and it doesn't offer any easy answers because even if he's targeting people who've done wrong, the methods themselves are still inherently deceitful.
And it's not like he suddenly transforms into a saint overnight.
Yeah.
He still needs to survive. He's still operating in the shadows, but something has shifted.
Yeah, the memory of Ellen's pain and that unexpected feeling of returning her ring anonymously, it starts to chip away at his cynicism like a glimmer of light in the darkness.
It's like he gets a taste of something different, something almost resembling redemption. And it opens up these possibilities he hadn't considered before.
He's still running scams, but the enjoyment is gone. It's just a means to an end. Now his focus has shifted. He's no longer preying on the vulnerable. He's setting his sights on those who exploit others.
Like loan sharks, other con artists, the predators in his own world.
It's almost a form of self-inflicted penance, isn't it?
Yeah.
He can't undo his past, but he can try to balance the scales in a way, redirecting his skills towards a warped sense of justice.
And this story really emphasizes this internal struggle. He describes this gnawing rot inside him, but it's held at bay by these flickers of Ellen's gratitude, a gratitude he never actually witnessed.
It's like he's trying to make amends for an invisible debt, a debt to his own conscience, perhaps.
And amidst this morally complex existence, he starts having these dreams, these visions of a quiet life, a life free from the constant need for disguise and deception, something he recognizes as almost absurd for someone like him.
But it speaks to a deeper yearning, doesn't it? A desire for something more genuine, a longing for connection, and a release from the shackles of his past.
And it culminates in this really powerful moment of introspection. He grapples with his identity. Is he Max, the name he was born with, or Thomas the con man? Or is he simply a collection of masks, a chameleon, forever adapting to his surroundings?
And he comes to this stark realization, I'm a con man, a thief. There's no escaping that truth, but now woven into the fabric of his deception is this new thread, this desperate hope that maybe, just maybe, he can use his skills to offer a twisted kind of justice, his own strange path towards redemption.
And the story leaves us with this question. Can someone who built their life on lies ever truly find redemption? Is it even possible to balance a life lived in shadows with the creation of light?
It's a question that lingers long after you finish the story because it forces you to confront your own beliefs about forgiveness, second chances, and the complexities of human nature.
So there you have it, a deep dive into The Devil's Debt, a story that pulls you into the murky depths of morality and leaves you questioning whether anyone can truly outrun their past.
It's a story that reminds us that even the most hardened hearts can be touched by empathy, and that sometimes the path to redemption is paved with unexpected twists and turns.
And maybe, just maybe, it challenges us to look at the shadows within ourselves and ask if even in the darkest corners a flicker of light can still emerge.
Thanks for joining us on this exploration of the Devil's Debt. If you enjoyed this tale of deception and unexpected possibilities, be sure to rate and follow the Dangers and Dragons podcast for more epic quests and crazy tales. Until next time, adventurers.
Keep those torches lit and those swords sharp.